The Misfits. The people with opinions and the stories behind them. Argue with them. Disagree with them. If you're brave enough, listen to them. The people who think differently don't just shape conversations. They disrupt them. Because the Misfits aren't rare. They're among us.
My guest today is Erin Schirack, entrepreneur, founder, and community builder. Erin is the founder of Shy Society and transitioned that into High Society, a curated wellness and lifestyle platform designed to help people discover experiences they can truly trust. But Erin's story isn't just about fitness or business. It's about recognizing when an industry is full of noise, seeing what's missing, and building something that people genuinely want to be a part of. This is a conversation about entrepreneurship, identity, curation, a strong fucking woman, and what it really takes to curate and create something meaningful in this crowded world. Erin, welcome to Misfits Among Us.
Joey, thank you for having me. Can you just follow me around every day? Just like intro me everywhere, every room.
I would do that. I'll have like a little fan underneath to blow your hair.
Yes, Beyonce fan me like into the room.
We'll do it. I can play that role. I can do whatever you want to do. I can play that role. I find you to be fascinating because you really are you're this woman who's taking agency in a space and slaying everywhere you go. I have daughters. I talk about this a lot. This is who I want my daughter to be. I want my daughter to be somebody, who's just a strong woman who's like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm going to make shit happen. And that's what you're doing. So I want to start at the beginning. Before we get people's palate a little too moist, talk to me about the beginning of Erin and what brought you to here. Give me that.
Oh, so the very, very beginning. I have actually been in the fitness industry specifically for 24 years. Started teaching Pilates as a side hustle. In Michigan, fitness was like not a thing, especially back then. So I was big girl job.
From Michigan. I'm from Michigan.
See,
and are you saying fitness is not, you just told everybody my area code and my phone number?
Call him.
It's okay. I won't take it out.
I'm a 734. Don't you worry.
But are you saying fitness wasn't a thing because you're visually looking at me right now and you're like, you have a lot to work on? Is that the problem?
Joey,
because
you're stunning. You got this. Don't you worry. So I had to have a big girl job. So I was in the hospitality space. I was in sales and marketing for the hospitality space, teaching fitness as a side hustle to pursue my passion. The company that I was actually working for was called Lucky Strike. I don't know if you remember. It's like a bowling lane.
A bowling company.
Bowling lane, like fancy
that.
bowling,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah, fancy.
They asked me if I'd be interested in moving to Chicago. And I said, yes, absolutely. So I jumped ship, moved to Chicago, continued working for them, moved into a different hospitality company at the time. And then I started teaching still Pilates on the side, started teaching at Flywheel, RIP. And then there was one day that I got off a really, really shitty call with my hospitality company. And I was just like, I hate this. I hate my life. And the phone rang. And it happened to be the manager of Flywheel. And he was like, hey, do you have a minute? And of course, like doom and gloom, I'm like, what now? You know, he's like, I just wanted to ask if you have any interest in becoming full-time with us. And I was like, what does that mean exactly? So it meant it was a moment. It was a moment. So it was a sign that I had to take. It was a significant pay cut, but I was like, I don't care. This is something that I absolutely love doing. I get to live and have leisure and do something that I really enjoy. So I accepted the position. At the same time, I was actually getting married. So my fiance at the time, he was like, can you hang tight until after the wedding? And then after the wedding, you can give notice and accept. Fair. I get this. Bills, you know. I moved over to Flywheel. Was there for quite a bit, head up their recruitment. And then funny enough, I was recruited by a studio that was opening up called Studio 3. So I went over to Studio 3, ran their cycle program. Then COVID came. I had kids. There's a whole nother story for a whole nother podcast on how all of that ended, Joey.
Well, I can imagine how it would end. It ended with kids. And if we do want to have another podcast to talk about how that happened,
that'll be a tea
board.
Time. That'll be a tea time talk.
Late night Misfits Among Us. So tell me, what did ambition and success look like at this moment in your life?
So I was always, when I went into the fitness industry full time, I was obsessed with being the best. Like I would study other people's classes. Soul Cycle was big at the time. I mean, I would just like watch and watch and listen. And I was like, what are they saying in the room? What music are they playing? And I was obsessed. And I was like, I am going to be the best at this, hands down. And I was. And it showed. Like, I was very, very good at what I did. I'm still good at what I do. But like, that's just because I think for me, it was like anything I put my name on, that's like a personal stamp, right? Like, that is my brand. And I want to make sure that people know when they're coming in or working with me or anything that like it's going to be top tier. So I made it my mission. I was successful in that. Hence why I was kind of top of my game at that time. And then I had kids. And of course, priorities changed. And unfortunately, when you work for companies that you are the best and top of your game, they kind of expect you to be married to them in that capacity. And they didn't like that I had other priorities that were drawing away my attention. So it was a little bit of divorce, I will say. And then I moved into COVID. And then during COVID, I was like, okay, this is a sign from the universe. You have twins at home. They are very young. Maybe you just like hang tight and be a mom. Well, that lasted like a whole like 12 minutes. And then I started kind of having conversations, just being an observer in the space of what was going on during COVID times. I noticed that a lot of studios were actually shutting down or they were going over to these virtual platforms. Peloton was growing up and I'm like, okay, Chicago has a ton of amazing talent here. Why is everything about New York and LA? Why is nothing about the Chicago talent? Because everybody who comes into Chicago from New York and LA says that the talent is better and the classes are better and the experience is better. So I had reached out to some DJ buddies of mine who had turned their office into a podcast studio and came up with the idea of let's start live streaming fitness classes and let's start recording them, high content, and let's make our own Peloton of the Chicago.
Looking back, this is a very easy jump, right? You're basically saying if people can't go somewhere, we're going to give it to them. It was so strange during COVID that it took a while for people to realize that we need to flip the script a little bit and say, let's curate material. And truthfully, this is why Peloton was so successful during COVID, overly successful, which is why they're having problems today. I still have my Peloton in the basement. I love it.
Same.
I used it during COVID. After COVID, it got dusty, right? Unfortunately, that's how it worked. But you were able to see, and I love these stories when people are able to see this blip that exists in life. A lot of people easily might miss it. I feel I saw something, but I got to go to the grocery store. I got to take care of my kids. I'm a husband. I'm a wife, whatever it might be. But you saw that blip and you were able to grab that blip and you were able to kind of form what became Shy Society, which so everybody understands CHI, Chicago, Shy. For those of you worldly individuals that don't know, Chicago likes to always make it about Chicago. Shy Society was the first business where you really said, I don't know if I need to work for these fitness folks, even though I'm great at it. I learn everything. I'm great at it. My priorities are changing a little bit, but I still love it. And now you were able to dive in. Explain to me this world.
Yeah. So it was fun. So we started an on-demand streaming platform. So it was a space where people could come. It was a membership platform. They could sign up. They could pay X amount of dollars per month. And they were able to work out with these individuals from the comforts of home, which was great. And, the intentionality behind it was not only to obviously get the consumers connected, but it was also a way to market these individuals who were starting their own brand. Because the same thing, outside of social media, how were they to be discovered? So we created that platform to help market them. It was kind of just like this extra support for the coaches that we brought on the platform. That was the first iteration of the company. Obviously, as the world started to open up, we had to, as I like to quote the Ross pivot motion, we had to pivot. We had studios that were reaching out to us, asking how they could be featured. The whole
hold on.
shebang.
I want to ask you a question here really quick. I want to pause you. This is all important, but here's what I want to talk about. You had a good response to Shy Society. So I want to pause for a minute. Let's sit here and let's just talk about your wins, right? I don't think we don't spend enough time talking about our personal wins. This was a major personal win for you. What was that response like from the people in Chicago?
Oh my God, they went nuts. They were going nuts. They were like, this is great. We were getting instructors asking us to be on the platform. People were signing up for the membership. It was a huge hit. And even people were commenting. We'd get the DMs doing the workout of like, I'm in Miami right now and I still work out with my Chicago people, or I moved and I still get to work out with my Chicago people. So it was a huge success. People absolutely loved it, which was great.
We're about to see a shift. So again, let's go back to that blip. Most people would sit there and say, I got my win. It's going really well. I'm going to stick with the win. I'm going to stick with it. Why did you decide to say Shy Society existed? It was where we were supposed to be for COVID. Clearly, it was foundational for you. But then it transitioned into what is now high society, which IGH, right? There's no weird little name thing we're doing with high society. And just to be clear, high society is still workouts. We're not smoking a doobie on the corner, right, with a lot of our friends. Right?
Although if the CBD company wants to buy the domain, you know.
I mean, everything's for sale these days. I would agree. What was that shift like? Because you could have stayed. You could have stayed and been comfortable.
I could have. And to be honest, like, Joey, this is like probably a curse of mine, is that I tend to see what's ahead faster than it hits. You know, like most companies, and I think most founders will stay with something, pour money into it and try and try and try. I'm already seeing the writing on the wall. People are starting to reach out to me for other things. And I'm like, I need to lean into that. And I know that people, once COVID is lifted and gone, people are not going to be, and they're not going to want to be in front of a computer screen working out. They're going to want human connection. They're going to want to be out more. But how can I still keep at my roots of supporting fitness and wellness and kind of giving them that space to grow and build, and then also kind of nourish the consumer side of things? So that was where the pivot came in.
You just took everybody on like a master's of business, right? Let's own up to this. They're getting it for free, okay?
They
So
really
all
are.
of this Northwestern, right, like new NYU,
Sorry, Harvard,
nonsense that they're paying all this money for. Just, okay, everybody chill the fuck out. You just learned something massive, which is you're in business. You really need to sit there and you need to listen and you need to understand when to shift, pivot, and possibly leave. You were able to see the writing on the wall. Okay. So you saw this writing on the wall. You understood that there was this change that was existing. You saw it. Might not have been all your business partners or people that worked with you, but you were like, no. I fucking got this. I'm the high-powered woman. Okay. Easy man, easy dude in the boardroom. Get the fuck out of here. I know how you're going to roll. When did it become less about access and more about trust in this new product you were building?
It was just like, I just knew it. It was a gut intuition, as weird and like woo-woo as that is, but like, I just knew it was there. And then it was obviously listening to people. The amount of people that were reaching out to me and saying, you know, how can you help market my business? Hey, I'm a hotel. I want to bring wellness in. Hey, I'm a corporation. I need to bring wellness in. And we were like, okay, we're clearly uncovering something here that we need to start to lean into and we need to start to move into. So it wasn't really like completely killing, you know, the on demand. It was just kind of like, let's just slowly let it fade. And let's just put some effort and energy into the other stuff and see what happens.
Define for everybody, so everybody understands, what's high society.
So high society, the reason that we pivoted and rebranded is actually we were moving into the New York market underneath this new realm. So in the New York market, we were creating this space of discovery for fitness and wellness platforms and brands. We were moving into a consulting space. We were staffing. We were creating our experiences. We were doing kind of all of the same stuff that we are doing now. And I was running it, again, smart businesswoman moment. I initially was running it as Shy Society and NYC Society. So 2 domains, 2 social media handles, 2 emails. This is not going to be sustainable. My team was grabbing up too much work. We were grabbing up every domain for ATX, MIA. We grabbed them all. This is going to be bananas if we have to run this many individual sites. I was like, everybody stop. We're rebranding. What is the name? What are the domains? Can we restart this? Can we redo the website? That took a long time. This was the first time that I actually outsourced that. Everything else I did myself. I built my own website, did the logo, the whole thing. And this is the first time that I'm going to pass this off to somebody, which was a very humbling experience to me to let go of control, but also amazing. And I worked with some amazing people to make the brand come to life. So it was a really cool experience. And of course, like during those shifts, you know, like more things changed and more consulting gigs were coming up. And people were like, can you help me grow my brand? And then when we launched High Society, people were like, whoa, like, what is this? We lost followers. It was a new brand. People didn't know what it was. Happens, fine. But it was also this like really too cool and exciting new thing to see birthed out into the space. It's been quite the journey.
The journey is one of these journeys where, looking at it from the outside, all the pieces fit, right?
Thank God.
And I know that's not what it's like on the inside, but on the outside, you can see where these jumps were made, and you can see how you moved from one thing to another and how everything was really building on what you did before, which is what people want to do in business. How do you take what you did and make it more valuable for what you're doing now. I should teach at business.
You
Hey, if there's
should.
business school out there, I'm free. Not
You
free, you'd have to pay
should.
me. But like I
Yeah.
got some time.
You have
I got
time,
a little
yeah.
bit of time. A little bit of time. So
And I'm willing to take a paycheck. Yeah.
I mean, I would love one. I would love one right now. So you became, for all intents and purposes, you were this successful entrepreneur. On paper, you were a successful entrepreneur. You had, in addition to that, a great family. You have great children. You're still in Chicago.
Yes.
You're running this large organization that really goes out and helps a number of businesses understand and value fitness more than they would have been able to without you. Shy Society became important enough where enough people sat there and said, wait. This lady could somehow transform what we're doing with the way she transformed Shy Society. There must have been other people out there that could have done this. Why do you think they came to you?
I had a name in the industry. Luckily for me, I had business and I had contacts in the hospitality side of the industry. So that came very naturally because people knew I was in the space before. I was in fitness. They needed something. They saw that I was in Flywheel in the beginning and saw how successful it became. I was in Studio 3 in the beginning, saw how successful it came. I was always the top instructor. You know, my classes were very good. So I think that just, again, kind of going back to like why I've been so obsessed with being the best is because the reputation speaks. People know that this is how I run and I operate, not only myself personally, but my reputation's on the line. And I want to make sure that what we're delivering and we're putting out in there is the highest quality. Plus, you also can't have a company name like High Society and deliver to dud.
It's true. It's totally true, right? If it sucked, you got a problem.
Yeah. Like
What
I
is
can't
it,
say
Suck Society?
Yeah, exactly. Like lame society.
Yeah.
It's okay
Stupid
society.
Yeah. That would have been easy. I'm going to buy the handle Lame Society in the hopes when they open up a shitty business. You learned a lot about yourself in this process. And what's amazing is you're very much in tune to your own brand. I think that's something that's hard for people to understand. You need to know yourself so well. And if you're in a space, you're able to see what needs to be disrupted. You're able to see what lane you need to play in because you knew it so well. And a number of people are jumping into, I don't know, a lane that they might not know so well. They're going to miss all this. You really need to learn and be the best. How did you change as a business person from working at these studios, Shy Society, to High Society?
Solid question, Joey. I think when I started, I'll say like in my coaching days, what can I do to be the best? How can I get my name out there? How can I network? How can I just like grow myself and my presence in the space? Again, wanting to be top of my game. When I started Shy Society, it was very much everybody else. How can I help everybody else? And I literally became behind the scenes. I was like Oz. You know, I was still there. I was still, teaching the classes on the platform, things of that nature. But I really created the space of like, how can I support and help others build? Because I'm able to see the opportunities for them and get them to really like grow their brand. And I think that has kind of still evolved and still unchanged. And probably because I'm, a mom now, that it's not all about me. Like I have other people that I can care about. It's gratifying for me to be able to take a brand or take a company or take a hotel and look at it from like, okay, what is your goal? Get them to understand their goal and go, okay, this is how we're going to do it. And this is how we're going to do it efficiently and fast and in the best possible way to create the most buzz. Now I'm very intentional about who I work with. And kind of going back to like Erin branding 101, my clients are still a direct reflection of me. Whereas, in this interim of Shy Society, I think I was just so in like desperation build mode where I was like, I'll take anything and anybody. You want to be on the platform? It was like Oprah moment, like you get a car, like anything. And now I'm like, let's hold off here. Like you're not aligned. I don't like your energy. I don't like your vibe. I'm not going to discount that much. Now I get to be a little bit pickier, but it's because I'm giving so much energy and so much time. And like, I'm actually able to make an impact on these brands. So I want to make sure that they're really special for me. You
have this ambition about you, but yet you don't let it take over your whole life, which has to be hard. Can we touch on this for a second? Can we talk about this? Because you are a mom. You want to focus on your children. You want to focus on your husband. You want to do all the things. And you also want to run this experience. So can we talk? What is that like?
It's so hard because it's more so hard because I'm very much like a doer. I'll do it myself and I'm going to do it really well. So it
Yeah.
has been this transition into like trusting and releasing control and letting other people do things for me, guiding from a distance. It has definitely been a change and a shift, but it's been a cool one. And it's really cool to watch people like step up when you give them that trust. It's the same thing with parenting, as like,
Yeah.
okay, go climb that tree. I'm going to stay here and hold my breath. But
Hope you
go
don't
ahead,
fall and
do
break
it.
your arm.
Hope you don't fall and break your arm. It's been one, leaning on people is significantly needed in order to grow and scale as to the level that I want to be at.
What does success look like for you right now versus what it was? How's that shifted? How's it changed?
Success for me now, I've always had this big dream. Like I was going to be in New York, like black cars, like business heels, like suits, like running in and out of office buildings, like
Yeah.
having somebody running up to me and being like, Erin, can you sign this? Like that was always the vision of just being this hot shot. I think I still want to be that, but I'm going to come in my sweatpants, 11 o'clock in my messy bun and my matcha and bail at 2 to go pick up my kids from school. Flexibility and freedom is definitely very important right now. I personally don't want to be insanely busy. Whereas before I was like, I wanted to be busy from 6 o'clock in the morning till 10 p.m. Always be doing something, where now there's no way that I want to do it. I want to be busy enough, but then also build enough where I can have other people help support and help grow.
So when you zoom out of all of this, what is it like for you? Right? You're 50,000, 100,000 feet up in the air. You've done all of these things and you look down. Explain this to me. Like, what's high society to you? What's it doing? What do you like about it? What's a takeaway that you want people to be like, no, this is important. This is the thing.
It's funny because I think we're actually in the middle of another shift, if I'm being super honest, Joey.
I want you to be.
We portrayed, let me tell you, here's a business 101. So I got so stuck in the weeds when we were building High Society that I actually was building it as an events platform, and it was another membership. I was like, okay, we're going to do events. We're doing events once a week. We have all of these partners where we have studios that want us to do events. Like we're going to go and we're going to do events and we're going to have a membership. And like, this is what we're going to do. Still a brilliant business idea. If anybody wants to snatch it up, like we've got the platform and I would highly encourage you to do it. I had a gut check moment. I vaguely remember I was sitting there and I was looking out the window just like this. And I went, holy shit. And my husband's in the room. He's like, what happened? And I was like, I have been running this company and pushing out a message that is so not even accurate as to how we operate. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, we are pushing out in the universe that we're an events company. And I go, the only reason we do events is because our clients ask us to. We don't need to do events. Like my business is my clients. I'm creating experiences for my clients based on the goals, and experience is like one tool that I have. So I called my team and I was like, we need to talk right now. This was 3 months ago, mainly. Nothing has changed on this. The website still looks like we're a membership platform, but behind the scenes, I've been taking myself through therapy almost, like just with this business of how do I get this word out here? Because like we do events, like that's a lever that we pull on, and we do them as a tool to like drive in business for locals to our hotels, or drive in business of locals to our studio, because we have a network that we created from Shy Society. But right now the business is consulting firm. Like that's literally what we do, and wellness is our tool.
Just tell me that elevator pitch. If there's a business if there's a business driving in their car right now, and hopefully they're not watching the video, but hopefully they're driving, right? Or they're pulled over, whatever is right. And now they're getting the elevator pitch from you for what your consulting services are and what that would mean for them. What is that?
I like to say that there's 3 tiers or 3 businesses in essence that we work with. So we obviously work with fitness and wellness brands. That would be anybody who's looking to up-level their business, either doing a refresh of the brand, if it's bringing in new signature formats and having us come in and train all of their coaches. If it's refreshing website, I have a brand that I'm currently working with right now that we're getting ready to take them into a franchise model. So cleaning up every facet of the business so they can then go to franchise. Those are going to be some of the fitness bucket, as I like to call it. And then we have our hospitality bucket. We use wellness as our tool. So what we're looking for when we're going into our hotels, what are the 2 goals? Usually 2 goals for our hotels are going to be bringing in travelers for either vacation stays or business travelers, And then also, how do we bring in locals if they have like a food and beverage restaurant, bar, they're trying to drive in that. So those two experiences are very different. Some of them actually kind of feed into each other. So that can be things like offering on demand personal training for business travelers that are coming in, groups that are coming in, having out sessions built out on their menu of services that these guests can select from. And then also from weekend travelers and locals, how do we create these really cool experiences, which are things that you see on the website as a way to drive in local business, but then also get the girly pops who are coming in for a bachelorette weekend. We're going to book their hotel stay at the WIT because they want to take our Save Your Soul Saturday class. So that's going to be kind of our hospitality bucket. And then our corporate, we come in and we use wellness as a tool to drive either retention or just kind of like overall community building and engagement within the business. It was a big tool for the return back to work and return back to office. How do we incentivize people to get back in the office? Let's give them chair massages every Wednesday. Let's have a really cool meditation, in the morning. Let's give them a middle of the day guided walk and run or a morning yoga class. So how do we build in these like lovely fitness and wellness offerings that are cool and trendy? I think that that's what makes us stand out. We're bringing in like top tier talent, like really good talent that they're probably like, holy shit, Joey, did you see that so-and-so from this studio is teaching a class at the office? Like, do you want to go? So we're really creating that buzz and giving them something like cool to talk about. So those are really our 3 lanes that we in.
That's amazing. I mean, and to your point before, those 3 lanes from a consulting standpoint are lanes that businesses would love and need as a differentiator. Truthfully, when you start looking in the hospitality business, it's always the differentiators. It's always, why are we going to be a little bit different? Why are we better? Are we offering something that can like shift somebody's mindset to come over through our door versus somebody else's? And then in addition to that, you are still offering events and memberships and things like that. Do you see the events and the memberships being something that stays forever? Just because it seems like in every iteration that became like a core pillar?
I think the events will definitely stay, not forever. Right now it's trending. Fitness and wellness events in unique spaces is very trending right now. People are looking for it. Fitness and wellness in the hospitality industry is huge now. I mean, you've got some of these major hotel corporations that are building out an entire wellness team, although they should just be hiring us. Plug.
I agree.
They're building out these entire wellness teams just to talk about what they can do within their 4 walls to build in wellness. So I think that events and experiences will stay. Also, if we're looking like way ahead of the times, like people are craving connection. Like the younger generation, they're putting down their phones. There's a lot of experiences that are coming out into the world that are no phone completely. So people don't want to be tied to their phones and tied to screens. They want to be connecting. So I think that fitness and wellness experiences and building community is always going to be a core pillar of what we do because we're good at it. And we know it. And we, again, seeing in the future, it's coming. Some of these businesses, I'm sure there's people listening that are like, yeah. Okay, guys, like just wait. Just wait. It's going to be massive. And if you don't have a community component or some sort of experience driving people in, forget it. You're done. High society membership, truthfully, I don't know. That's one thing I keep going back and forth with. I think that, like I said, it has the opportunity to be massive. And I have the vision. I think for me, if I'm speaking personally for me, I'm not connected to it. So I think if somebody, hey, Joey, here's your idea. Somebody wants to come in and own that and run it and build it into something, like you've got the platform, the website is done, have at it. But like I'm staying out of your way because I think that there is the opportunity. It could be really, really huge. We have enough contacts. We've got enough stuff that we could do to make a really cool, sticky membership.
And it sounds like it's going to take also a lot of time and energy, and it becomes its own space within this larger space that you're building. I mean, I love that you just offered this up and said, hey, if anyone's interested, contact.
Have at it.
Right, reach out. Everything's
it's
for
beautiful.
sale.
I got the whole thing. This is my sweet spot. I'll create this beautiful idea for you and set you up and like let you run.
What excites you most for us going into the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years in your business?
I think that right now our business, like I said, kind of like this is one of my like spidey senses, as I like to call it. Like I've always been somewhat ahead of the trend. And I think right now I'm ahead of the trend and now the trend is starting to catch up, that most people are going to need me more and more and more because of the fact of like how powerful fitness and wellness is just becoming in the world. There's so many studies out there that they're saying that people, even like the younger generation, they're looking for their fitness and wellness first as like a company perk, or they're not going to give up their morning yoga class for,
Mhm.
a morning meeting. Like it's just becoming so, so powerful and so impactful. I'm excited that we are ahead of the curve. I think that we're early enough in the game that our name is going to be established as the people that you're going to contact. So I'm really looking forward to like being able to make those impact on brands and like getting this out there.
If people want to reach out to you, and we're gonna tag everything below. There's Instagrams, there's LinkedIn's, there's your website. They have your name. You're not the Hilton right now, right? So you're still able to be spoken to, which I think is really nice. And you make yourself very much available, though you're extremely busy. You want people to reach out. You
I
want
do.
this to be an organically grown space that just keeps on expanding and expanding and expanding. You have staying power. You've taken this brand and seen the different growths of this brand since COVID, maybe a little bit of pre-COVID, and you're happy with it right now, and you really want to like fucking grow this little
Let's
kid.
go.
Let's go.
Come
That's
on.
amazing.
Time
So
for you to be a teenager.
I mean, so I say that about myself all the time. Are you all over the United States now? Where's your
Yes.
sweet spots? Is it big cities? Because you play in the shadows behind the scenes.
I do. I'm like Oz.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
like
tell
Oz.
me, like, what is this?
Yeah, so we're everywhere. It's funny that you say that. If you look at like consumer facing events, like we're very heavy in Chicago. Obviously, that's where we started. If
Mhm.
you're looking to come to a high society event, we're predominantly going to be in the Chicagoland area. A lot of my consulting is everywhere. I actually consult for a lot of studios in the suburbs, which is shockingly enough. So suburbs has been like really, really big for my like studio consulting and my brands. A lot of our hotels that we work with are in the cities. My corporations are everywhere. The nice thing about the fitness industry is like when you're in, you're in. It's like Kevin Bacon, like everybody knows everybody when you're in there.
Any moment you can bring up Kevin Bacon.
I mean, nailed
I don't
it.
like to go through my day without at least 2 Kevin Bacon references. So this is amazing. I want people to go to your website. I want them to kind of see what's going on. Do you have anything else you want people to like know about you? You're very humble. This is my baby. This is my work. This is all my stuff. Anything?
It's been a journey. Anybody out there
Yeah.
who's looking to start a brand and start a business, look the fuck out. I mean, it's the biggest, and I think I've seen this before. It's literally therapy for yourself. Being able to pivot and grow and change and shift, like it's in essence like restarting over and over again. So I would encourage any entrepreneurs who are listening to have a little grace with yourself and like be okay to adapt to the change and like stick with it. Because I mean, the amount of times that every pivot, every change, I'm like, oh, what the fuck am I doing? Like, we're just going to shut it down. We're just done. We're done. And having those moments is like completely normal. It's been a journey, an amazing journey. I'm very excited to see where it continues to move and take us. But it's been fun.
For all the ladies out there, what has it been like? So you're a woman in this space, and in the fitness space, having a woman in the fitness space isn't rare. That's a normal thing. But overseeing businesses in the fitness space, being a woman, has any of it been tough from a woman's standpoint? Have you been like, fuck, man, these guys, they really try to burn me. These motherfuckers try to burn me. Or are you like, I've actually been treated really well?
For the most part, I have been treated really well. There has been some like skeezy like businessmen who have like tried to make me offers to like come in and, be the platform, in essence, do all of the work and then like give them 60%. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Like, nice try, but like, no. And it's funny, I my team is primarily women. I have one man on my team as of now. It's not intentional. It's just kind of happened. My CFO, she's hilarious. She's always said, she's like, whenever you work with guys, they're always going to be the first one in the room that's looking for a deal and like being outright and like talking about how their deal is the Cindy Crawford. But women will come in and we're meek. We don't want to like ruffle any feathers and we don't like selling ourselves and we'd like to get to know you and we'll talk to you for 28 minutes and then the last 2 minutes of the conversation we'll actually ask you for what we need. So it's been interesting to kind of like flip the script with certain clients that like you kind of have to like be a dude up front and be like, this is what we're doing. And I have always been very like, I'm very type A. I'm very forward. I'm not a lot of like fluffy, like, let's talk about your feelings and how is this, like I'll check in with you and like I'm real and I'm an empath, but like at the same time, like we want to get shit done. And like my motto has always been GSD, like get shit done. And like, we're going to come in and we're going to start making impact. And it was funny that I have a client that I work with, man, came from the corporate space. And he was like, I thought we were just going to kind of like sit and talk strategy. And I go, oh, I'm sorry. Did we move a little too fast for you? And he was taken back by it. He's like, I just didn't expect that. So I think there's still a little stigma with women. Like they think that we're going to be like, let's just talk about it.
The one thing you want, being a dad, right? The one thing you want if you have girls is to say, you want your girls to have a voice in that boardroom no matter what. And you
Totally.
try to teach them to do that. And you're going in and doing it. And you're basically saying, fuck these dudes. I'm
Yep.
going to slay. I'm going to kill it. We're going to have these conversations. We're here to make money. I will, we can sit and have a coffee. I'll ask you how your family is doing. Do I care? I do, but do I really want to get through this business meeting and make sure that this is impactful? Yes, right? Yep. And I think that that's important because, to your point, people always assume that the women are softer, fluffier. Mm-hmm. I know when I would go in, when I used to wear suits, which I never want to do again. I'm a jeans and t-shirt. I just want to love the cloth that's touching the skin of mine. But I remember going in and, I had the women I was friends with because I could be like, so how was your weekend? I didn't want to have to like dive into intense work right away. But you're sitting there like, look, we have time for that later.
Yeah.
Right. Let's have this conversation now. Let's cut to the deal. Let's move on. We'll go get our coffees. We can do whatever we want to do later on, but we need to make this happen. I think it's fantastic. And I think you're such a strong person and you have such an amazing attitude. You have such an amazing affect in terms of how being approachable, talking to you both on and off of this podcast. This is how you are all the time. I mean, you are you're a louder, laughing individual and you want to have fun, but at the same time, you're like, I got to get some stuff done. Yeah. And I think there's something very nice about that. Very nice about that.
We got to be real.
We do.
We just got to be real.
I think what people aren't going to realize this, they will when they see this, but they won't realize it just from hearing you. You're younger, right? You're a younger person and you've accomplished so much. And that's unbelievable because usually you expect somebody to be, 60, 70. Oh, look what I've done. Look at my long list of accomplishments. Fuck that. I got my accomplishments. I got my list. I'm this young lady. I'm killing it. I'm moving on. I'm hyping you up because I
thank you.
Do think you've done such a magical thing within this space. And it's such a niche space where a lot of people probably don't understand what you're capable to within this space. Mm-hmm. Right? You don't think about it all often. If you think about the workout space, it's the studios and it's the classes and it's all that other stuff. And you're saying, no, there's a whole world here that you can make happen. And you've done it. You've killed it. Yeah. So I'm super proud.
Thank you. It's
You're
such
welcome.
an untapped market. And I understand in some capacities why, but it's such an untapped market and wellness is becoming so big. So big. We're running.
Do you feel there's any pushback with what's going on right now with technology or government or any of that kind of stuff? Or are you like, I'm not worried?
No, not at all. Not worried at all.
That's amazing. Because everyone's worried about stuff.
I know, but everybody is. Yeah, I think the only pushback that we've seen is a little bit with corporate, but it's like a blip in the push and then they're right back at it. Because again, at the end of the day, it's all about fitness and wellness and it's taking care of your people. And I think if you're at the people business at the core, the gas prices and all this other stuff is never really going to affect that. If anything, people need that more now based on everything else that's going on in the universe. They need to be taking care of their bodies. They need to be taking care of their mental health. They need to be making systems easier. So I think that that's where the sweet spot that I come in. Like, yes, wellness is my tool, but at the end of the day, my ultimate goal is how do I make your life easier and feel better from all capacities.
Erin, I will say what I appreciate about your story so much from a business standpoint is that it isn't about chasing more for you. It's been about paying more attention to understand where you need to focus your effort and paying attention to what's either missing or feels off or what people are actually looking for beneath the surface has been paramount in your success. In a world full of options, you're building something rooted in trust, connection, intention, and it's making you stand out so much in this space. Erin, I cannot thank you enough for spending a little bit of time with us at Misfits Among Us. I loved this conversation. It's put me in such a good mood. It makes me want to go and do push-ups and start to work out more and figure out a way how to monetize it. Because see, I get it. The whole reason we had this was you were like, Joy, I think you got to do some push-ups. And that's okay. I'm okay with it. Anyone who wants Erin info, it's going to be down below. We're going to have a link to all the socials, a link to the website, all of that stuff. I hope you have nothing but success.
Thank you, Joey. Thank you for having me. I always loved.
Thank you. It's good. We'll talk again.
It's that good Michigan vibes we got.
Oh, it is. It is. It's the Midwest hospitality. Focus, you East and West Coasters.
Yeah.
You gotta be a little. You gotta
Focus.
calm the hell down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Calm down a little
Be
bit.
nice. Just be
That's it.
nice.
Be nice. I agree. Well, thank you.
Thank you.